Mom and Dad, Arthur's Inseminator is not for kids.
Hey at Ms. Ami, this is HD, the Harvest Inseminator, bringing you a review of the 2021 Medicom Mafex X-Men's Gambit. And without further ado, let's chop them up. Taking a look at Gambit in the box, I gotta say that the artwork is beautiful. You have the traditional 1990s box art. You don't get this on comic books much anymore, but growing up we always look for that little corner box art, and a lot of times it'd be the X-Men's faces, or it might be the whole body of a character. So I like this, man. A lot of nostalgia. 6-inch figure, 131 Mafex. Some people say Mafex, I'm not sure. Marvel with an ace up our sleeves. I like it a lot. You have a product shot. You can see that it is Gambit, X-Men, Marvel, Mafex, Medicom toys. It does state that it is the comic version of the figure. You have this nice window. You can see some of the accessories, kinetically charged cards, the figure himself, Gambit, Remy LeBeau, and you have the head sculpt right here. Looking at this side of the box, you're going to have some artwork up here, a product shot. Again, the Mafex logo with the X-Men logo. I like the yellow and pink. It works real well. Here on the back of the box, you're going to have a few different product shots. You're going to have the two portraits, all of the accessories. So this looks all good. You have some writing down here at the bottom. On the side here, you're going to have another product shot, which is a lot bigger. And you can see it better here like this on the side. So that's going to be the four walls. Now taking a look at the top here, again you have the same artistic insignia, Gambit, X-Men, X-Men logo. Down at the bottom you have a bunch of warnings and stuff like that. It is for ages 15 or older, adult collectibles, not a toy. I like that. So this is the packaging, mes amis. Let's bust this dude out and see exactly what he can do. And here's Remy LeBeau out of the box, and I gotta say, y'all, I was super excited to get this figure, and my excitement was completely deflated by the fact that his wrist joint broke off. Look at that, it's right there inside of his hand right there. Once I got him out of the box, I was posing him around, switching out his hands, his head, using his effects for about an hour, y'all. And just right before I started filming this, man, boom, the wrist peg broke off. So look, when you get this guy, be extremely careful with these wrist joints. They will break off very easy. This is my first Mafex figure. I don't own another one. I'm going to link a video in the description below. I found a video of a guy that was able to fix a Mafex wrist joint by replacing it with a Figma joint. Now, I don't own any Figma figures, so I don't have the luxury of doing that. I'm gonna have to try to track one down on eBay if that's even possible, and try to buy one to repair this guy. So not all hope is lost, but when you pay damn near, over $100 with shipping for a figure, you don't expect this right here to happen. And I was about to sing his praises, man. The best 6-inch Gambit figure to be produced, but now I don't know if I can say that, man. Now I see all the negatives in the figure because of that. Before I was overlooking a lot of the negatives just out of excitement, right? But now I can see all kind of stuff going on. So I'm a Gambit fan. If you can, you can tell that by my introduction. So, but I got to give you a very real, unadulterated review on this guy now. Okay, so let's get this guy off the stand. We'll take a look at his sculpt, his articulation. But let us start by taking a look at his accessories. As you can see, Gambit's packed in with quite a few accessories here. First, let us take a look at his hands. I think this is essential to any action figure. Every action figure should have fisted hands. So check on that. He comes with two fisted hands, all right? So kudos to Mafex for producing those. Then he's going to have two different hands that could hold the staff, which is great. And so here's the staff, y'all. Pretty basic. It has pretty sturdy plastic, man. I don't feel like it's going to break on me, much like the Mesco staff. That thing broke right away. So pretty sturdy, bendable. Yet this, I like these hands because check out the hole. It fits so snugly. The staff does in these hands. Like, they're not going to move, man. So whenever you pose this guy and say you want to put him in a position where he's holding the staff with both of his hands, you're going to have no problems at all. And you might remember the Target Retro Gambit. They gave us two hands, but one of the hands doesn't necessarily hold the staff that well, so that was kind of a fail. But there go the two hands and the staff. He's going to have four different sets of hands that are wide open, like he's throwing the cards. With these two, they're just going to be plain open hands, okay? Done well. But what's going to differentiate these hands right here is that they're going to have this little peg in them right there, all right? So let me get this would be his right hand here. So take a look at that. You can see this one has a peg. And I might get a peg and weld one and burn one into the Marvel Legends hands that's open like this. And the reason why this plastic is here, it's used for these kinetic card effects. All right. So first, let us take a look at these effects. They are translucent pink. They didn't paint the suit on the card. That would have took it to another level. That's not there yet. I would say that these are damn near some of the best card effects that come with the Gambit. I think running neck and neck with these would be the Marvel Select, but that's not 1/12 scale. That's a 7th scale figure. But just the size of this kinetically charged throwing effect, man, this thing's huge. It's awesome. So what you do is you take the hand with the peg in it, and then you're going to go ahead and simply stick this in here. Okay, now looking at this accessory in particular, once you put the hand on Gambit here, you're going to have issues. It is too heavy for the hand, all right? So as you can see here, it's just going to want to slouch down. Now, they did give us two stands, additional. They gave us one to hold a figure, and all I can do is assume is that this one is meant to be like a crutch, if you will, for the throwing effect, right? So you could get the throwing effect where you want it, and then all you're going to do is use this stand right here to hold that throwing effect where you want it. All right, so in my opinion, that's what that is for. I couldn't think of anything else it would be for. All right, otherwise, if you don't have that there, you watch when I move it, boom, it's just going to go right down. So that could have been done better. The joint is real loose right there, and again, one of them broke already. So so I can't even show you what's going on there. But that's what we got going on here with that, y'all. And here goes the other throwing effect. It's similar to this one. The only difference is this one has more design in it with the kinetic charge, whereas this one's just a little bit more simple. All right, translucent. You'll be able to put a light under there. It'll glow really good. I'm almost positive that it will. So these effects are done really well. Minus you will need to use the crutch to keep it up when you have it posed. Otherwise, it's just going to fall down. Okay, so that's the purpose of those hands with the pegs. There goes those kinetically charged effects. Now, these hands right here, what we got going on is I believe you can use basically whatever effect you want in these, right? So you could probably stick these in there if you want to. Won't be a problem. You could stick the single card in there. That shouldn't be a problem at all. Or you could just use these hands to rest down at his side. I think these are kind of multifunctional. You could probably lay the staff down in the hand if you wanted to, like have him holding it with one hand and having to holding it like this with the other. So I see these as being kind of versatile. Whereas these two right here, I think are very specialized to the cards. So this one, this is very similar to the ones we got with the Marvel Legends Gambit with the two fingers. I think, you could just, that's meant for this particular effect. All right. So it was designed for this effect. You just stick that card in there like that. And this one right here, you can see how the finger is kind of spaced real nice right there. I feel like this one is designed for this gambit right here because it just fits, it just wedges in there so nice. Okay, so those go, there goes those cards, the single and double card right there. And this is two cards right here. All right, y'all. If you want to take a look at that, translucent pink, no suits painted onto the card. And lastly, in terms of effects, we do have these two kinetic flames that go at the end of the staff here. All right, so you can stick one on either side if you want to, and you could kind of have it posed to where one's facing with the flame down and flaming up like he's spinning it around, if you will. So there goes those, and these could charge up too. You can see they are translucent. You can see the staff on the inside of it right there. So again, done really nice. Here goes a look at the other one right there. Looks really good. Lastly, we have the two head sculpts, right? The two portraits. Let us take a look at those. Firstly, you have his more intense face, like his battle face, if you will. I do like that they put the 5 o'clock shadow on there, all right? I try to paint, my figures, and I'm just not good at it, all right? I'll be real honest. You can see here with the Marvel Legends Gambit, I tried to paint this 5 o'clock shadow on there. It's not done real nice, man. I mean, it's suitable. I mean, it's the best I could do. Whereas if the company did it and they did a good job, look how nice that looks, man. Looks real good. Could have been a little bit darker, perhaps, but it's done real well for what it is, okay? And you're going to have the 5 o'clock shadow on both of these guys. Let me just bring that in. Hopefully you're catching that on the camera, okay? So 5 o'clock shadow. I like his hair, man. His hair is just flowing to the side real nice. It's longer than the Marvel Legends, as you could see right here. It's much longer. I'm not hating on his hair. It's good for what it is, but this is done just way better. And then you could see the Mezco hair here, the differentiation of the two. All right, so just dark brown flowing. There is a little bit of a blank wash in it. The paint job, to me, in terms of the outline for the mask and all of that, is pretty flawless, man. I don't have any problems with that. The Marvel Legends did have some issues. I've painted and touched up a lot of those Marvel Legends heads, though. There go his ears, y'all. I love the Jim Lee 90s Gambit design. It's my favorite design for Gambit. And of course, you have his black eyes with the red pupils. I like that they didn't put a black dot in the red pupil, right? Marvel Legends did that. It doesn't really look that good. His teeth came out decently. You can see kind of like the indentation of his teeth there. Hopefully you're catching that on the video. His nose came out nice. So, I can't really complain with the head sculpts. Let us take a look at his neutral face. Same hair. I don't think there's any difference with the hair. It's the exact same hair, y'all. Completely the same. Completely, it's the same head sculpt, but same clean paint job. The only difference is his mouth, right? So again, black pupils, red pupils, black eyes, great eyebrows, great facial expression. All right, y'all, let's put one of these heads on the body and take a look at the sculpt of the body. I never looked at the coat because to me the coat is part of the figure and not necessarily an accessory. So let us take a look at him. Oh, and I almost forgot the stand, right? So the stand, it has articulation down here at the bottom. It has midway articulation, and it has articulation up here at the top. And of course, this clamp can spin around and you could just grab them however you want to. It's all translucent. I'm probably not going to use it, but it is a good addition to the figure. This is the 1990s Jim Lee Gambit, and Mafex captured it very well here with the sculpt of the body. First, let's take a look at the coat. The coat works really well with the figure. I have to say I like the color on the Medicom coat a lot better, the darker brown. However, with this guy, there's limited ranges of articulation with the coat. It's just really restricting. Whereas with this coat right here, it gives you so much freedom of movement. You don't feel like you're going to rip it. I mean, look, you can damn near get a 360 with this coat on, man. No joke. With no problem at all either. And so it just allows for articulation. So that's what I like, number one, about the coat. The color, as I said, I would have been a lot happier with a dark brown. What I also like about the coat is that the bendy wire is solid as hell. It's heavy, it holds, whereas here with the Medicom figure, the wiring just wasn't that strong, man. It seemed like it was really weak, like it won't hold up, it'll just come right back down. There's no bendy wire down here at the bottom of the coat. And again, not done that well in terms of its strength. Whereas with this guy, man, you could put that shit wherever you want it, and it's going to stay, which is what I like. Also, this coat has a split here in the back, and I think that's more comic book accurate. This coat is just all connected. They do have this cut right here, but still it's kind of restricting. Whereas with this, I mean, it gives you more freedom for doing different poses with the coat, which is what I like. I'm not an expert in fabrics, but it's some type of cotton cloth, if you will. The design right here, yeah, it could have been done a lot better. And I would say that's where Medicom wins, because their coat, just the craftsmanship, is top notch, man. Whereas this one, it looks kind of frumpy in a way, man. It could have been stitched a little bit better, but just its usability in terms of articulation, yeah, I don't think it could be beat. So that is the coat, y'all. We're going to go ahead and take the coat off. First of all, let me point this out. He does have these little, I guess, buttons here, for lack of a better word here, that are up here by this cuff up here on the coat. He doesn't have any, like a belt that wraps around and ties. This guy does have one. Granted, it doesn't have any bendy wire in it. That would have taken it to another level. So let's take the coat off, man. And here he is in pure plastic form. Just looking at him at the outset, you can see that his chest plate is a little bit narrow. Granted, this is giving us more room for articulation in terms of this butterfly joint right here, right? So it won't restrict it. So it does look good nonetheless. Taking a closer look, you can see that they painted black lines there in the chest plate, and this is something that Marvel Legends failed to do with their first release. Now they did paint the black lines in the retro release, so that looks really good, y'all. He does have the silver here along the chest plate, which is accurate. He has this silver ring here around his arms, which is accurate to a 1990s Gambit. And of course, he has the silver outline there, like a belt around his waist. What I like about this, man, they actually sculpted in these lines here on his uniform, and of course they did it here on the legs. All that is comic book accurate. It all looks really good, y'all. And his boots here, right? So the boots are also comic book accurate. When you articulate the guy, the boot will not be a part of his kneecap, much like some of the other figures, especially the Marvel Legends. This is actually his kneecap with the Marvel Legends, right? So there's actually a separate kneecap apart from the boot right here. So when you articulate him, you know, you will see this kind of come out a little bit. It doesn't bother me one bit. The silver is done really nice throughout, right? So you have these beautiful lines here in the figure, all comic book accurate. You have ball joints down here at the bottom, which I'm not always sure how I feel about those, you know. And now I'm so scared to, yeah, he has ankle pivot, but I'm so nervous now because I was just barely moving his wrist here. And here you can take a closer look at this. I was just barely articulating his wrist, man. Look, and the peg broke completely off. So that's going to be the front of the figure. Now taking a look at the back, you have the standard kind of muscleization, if you will, here in his back. There goes his butt. So yeah, really basic, but done really nice. The paint job is done and the plastic's done really good. I see no flaws in the paint job throughout. It's all clean. I've articulated this guy. None of this is scratched up here in his abs. So the abs look really good, his chest. So I gotta say, man, in terms of the sculpt, it's done really, 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 really well. Now his neck here, when I was looking at him, I was like, man, I don't know, man. Maybe his head sits down a little bit too low on his neck. But I don't know, man. It's all right. It's not that bad. And you can see his head is a lot smaller than the Marvel Legends in terms of, you know, just his face and everything. It's a lot slimmer. So, but they seem to be right about the same. How maybe the Mafex is a bit shorter, but just by a hair. So that is going to be the sculpt of his body. Now here's the most important part. Let us take a look at his articulation. So you know what you're getting into. This is like a dumbbell joint up here. The neck does have articulation, but in terms of the peg, it's real small and it's like a dumbbell, right? So let me peg the head back on there. Much of the articulation in the head is going to come from this neck right there. So when you combine the dumbbell with the neck, he can look all the way up, man. I mean, that's really impressive. And in terms of looking down, I mean, he can look all the way down at the ground, all right? So, I mean, that's really good articulation. Of course, this is going to go side to side. You're going to get a 360 going on with this guy. The neck does move, so you want to keep, make sure that his throat is level with his chin. So that might have a tendency to move, but just great articulation there. With the arms, they're going to come up that high, right? So his shoulder, this butterfly joint is going to articulate up and down. So his arms come down to the side. They come all the way. Oh, shit. And as you can see, these bad boys pop out as well. Let's see if that pops right back in. Yeah, it popped right back in. So these articulation... So these articulate up and down. I'm like, damn, man, this figure's just breaking all over the place. But no, that's not a break. That was an easy fix. The butterfly joints don't necessarily go back and forth too much. They go back a little bit. As you can see here, they go back a tad bit, and then they'll come forward just a little bit as well. The articulation works better going up and down, as you can see right there. But you know, you get a range of movement with the butterfly joint. So it is good. I'm not hating on it. I mean, you're not getting this crazy articulation where his hands coming like way over. Maybe if you combine them. I mean, look, he can cross his arms over pretty good though, man. That's without the coat, that is. So you got that going on. With the arms, and what I like about this, it's almost like a drop joint right here with the arm. It goes up and down, which is really good for articulation. He has upper bicep swivel. He does have a double jointed elbow right there, y'all, so he can get his elbow to come all the way back. That's just really impressive articulation. I can't show you the wrist joint right here. With the wrist, it will go side to side. I would say this, y'all, don't articulate his wrist, man. I just barely moved the other one, and it just broke right off. So don't move the wrist, all right? And that does hinder articulation, right? But that's my advice to y'all. Don't even mess with them. They will break. Now, with the ab crunch, you're going to have two components to it. You have a swivel right here in his upper torso. And down at his waist, you have it is a swivel, but it's also a crunch. So when you combine the two of them, right, this guy can go that far down and he can lean that far back, which is, you know, to me, very impressive, man. So you have to combine, you have to understand you combine it both. Now, when you go all the way back, there's a little opening right there. That doesn't bother me too much. So that is a ball joint. So it will swivel around. You can get them to the side. And damn, look at that. It shit popped right off. Let me see if it goes back on. There we go. It just snapped back on. This guy's going to be able to give you a 360 if you want that up there at the top too. So great articulation when you combine both of these components here at his torso and waist. With his legs, you do have drop down joints. So you see that, how they drop down? And when you drop them down, you can get a pretty impressive split, right? So his legs split out pretty good. That gives you a really high, if you're trying to achieve like a kick of some sort, like really high, that is going to allow you to achieve it. And I mean, damn near, you know, Gambit's like an acrobat. So if you want to wanted him throwing some cards with his legs open or whatnot, you know, you'll be able to achieve all of that with damn near no problem. All right, so you're going to be able to get some dynamic posing out of this guy as a result. So you put the legs back up. Now, there is no upper bicep swivel here. The swivel will be simply at his upper leg. So that's going to swivel side to side. That's where you're going to get that, okay? You will have double jointed knees. And as I showed you earlier, this is not his kneecap. It's separated from that. And you will get his leg to come that far back when you move it to the back. With the feet, it is a ball joint. I'm really nervous about these balls now, but nonetheless, it seems pretty loose. You can get it to go that high, that low. You do have ankle pivoting going on, so you will be able to get whatever pose you want. And of course, he has articulation at the toes. He has 0 peg holes at the bottom of his feet, but he does come with a stand, so there's really no need for it in terms of standing him up. But he stands up pretty good all on his lonesome without anything, so you shouldn't have a problem.
And our main man, Remy LeBeau, is going to stand in right at about 6.5 inches.
And here he is scaled next to the Hasbro Marvel Legends Caliban Wave Gambit and the Mezco Gambit. The Mezco Gambit is a tad bit taller than both of these guys, really. And the Hasbro Marvel Legends is just a hair taller than this guy. So this guy's going to scale in well with all of your 6-inch figures, regardless. And here he is scaled next to the retro Hasbro Marvel Legends Gambit, which has a different color scheme and different hair. And the Revoltech Gambit. And here he is scaled next to what I think is the Apocalypse Wave Hasbro Marvel Legends Wolverine and the retro Marvel Legends Rogue. And here he is next to the Marvel Legends Beast and the Marvel Legends Cyclops. And I was really hoping that this Mafex Gambit would have won me over to the Medicom Mafex line. I might have picked up more of the X-Men, but as of right now, I possibly still might. But I need that wrist hinge fixed, and I need to mess around with the figure a lot more to see if it's really worth investing in some of the other Mafex X-Men. Here he is scaled next to the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure and the Wendigo Wave Sinister. Here he is next to the retro Marvel Legends Spider-Man and Black Cat. Here he is next to the Marvel Legends Man-Thing Build-A-Figure and the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Howard the Duck. And here he is next to 2 New Orleans born / Louisiana born superheroes. We have the most beautiful, illustrious, most powerful Queen of New Orleans, Monica Rambeau, and the DC Icons Swamp Thing from Home down in the Bayou. In conclusion, who made the best Gambit? It's really hard to say. If I was to give you a process of elimination, the Revoltech would have to go first. Yeah, you can get him into some dynamic posing, but in the process, his leg's going to keep falling off. Look, part of his coat is gone. It's only here in my action figure room. His faceplate falls off real easy. He's just a difficult figure to deal with. If you're looking for an aesthetically beautiful action figure that you're going to put on your shelf, I would say that this guy has the best sculpt and the best quality, man. From the soft goods, just the craftsmanship in the coat, the sculpt, the head sculpts, everything about this guy is aesthetically pleasing. But if you're into like aesthetics and posing your action figure, he's not your guy. He doesn't have an ab crunch. If they would have included an ab crunch and gave him more articulation with his legs, I would say that this guy would have been number 1. But the biggest thing missing right there is that ab crunch. It just doesn't cut it for me. But he is a beautiful figure. If you're just looking to stand a figure up on your shelf, he's your guy. Now, when it comes to these 3 guys here, these 2 guys are the same. If you're looking for your cheapest 6-inch Gambit, this guy currently, I'm filming this review late September 2021. He's on Target's webpage right now for $23. So this is your best bet. It's a plastic coat. You take the coat off, he still has the coated arms, right? If you take these guys' coats off, then you have the black arms. So the dry goods prevails. Now, they do have decent articulation for what they are. Okay, I would say as of right now, my favorite Gambit is this guy here in the back. He's a customized Marvel Legends Gambit. Now knock that guy down. It's all right. It's this guy right here. Okay, you're gonna have to change out his hands. His arms. But once you change out his arms, you see you get some black arms back there. This is a legit figure here, man. And I would say right now, this is probably my favorite figure because he's just endurable. I thought this guy, the Mafex, was going to prevail, man, and become my #1. But I would say that this customized, but again, I had to customize it, right? I would say in just their natural forms, this guy is way better. He has the articulation, as you saw. He has the aesthetics. He has the dry goods. The soft goods. And so he's just an amazing action figure. The only drawback about the Mafex figure are those wrist joints and that it broke. If it wouldn't have broke, man, I don't know. He might have been my #1, but I can't give him that rating right now due to the joint breaking. So y'all, I hope you enjoyed this review. It is what I had to give the review, even though the hand broke. I had to do it, man. You see the quality there. Hopefully that's just my Gambit, and that's not the case with your Mafex Gambit. Let me know in the comments below once you get yours if you have the same issue. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell, give the video a rating, hit the like and dislike button. And until next time, mes amis, we say here in New Orleans, laissez les bons temps rouler.